She absolutely fought that illness. I mean, she died when I was 22 because I live on my own. I can't get my dress zipped up. So I'm constantly like leaving to go out and I have to go into the concierge office and can you zip me up?
Hello and welcome to Second Act, the podcast and community for women in midlife who refuse to fade into the background. I'm your host, Ateh Jewel, and I'll be speaking to celebrity guests about the moment they knew they were in their second act and how they're changing the game in their next one. Second Act is brought to you by Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair, the iconic skincare collection designed to support the skin's natural nightly renewal process, harnessing over 40 years of pioneering night science research. Our guest for this week's episode is the wonderful Patsy Kensit. She is a woman of many talents, with careers as an actress, singer and model. She rose to fame as a child star before fronting the band Eighth Wonder in the 1980s. I remember I was a fan before starring in shows such as Emmerdale, Lethal Weapon 2 and Absolute Beginners. Patsy Kensit, welcome to Second Act. Patsy Kensit, I was so overexcited to have you on Second Act. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. How are you?
Really well, thank you.
Good.
I wanted to jump straight in.
Yeah.
How would you summarise your first act in 3 words?
My first act in life?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, in 3 words, it's so hard. Diverse, impossible, yet the unbelievable happened.
Diverse, impossible, like you've packed a lot of life in. Your first act started probably like work-wise since you were 4, you were saying.
Yeah.
So what does diverse, because you've had many lives, haven't you?
I've worked my entire life. I've worked every year of my life since I was 4. And I managed to, make the transition to become a adolescent. And it's very difficult for child actors to make that transition. And I was able to become the gawky teenager, and then I got Absolute Beginners, and that was a very different presentation of me as an actress because I've been doing lots of stuff at the BBC. I was doing all the classics and worked with the Royal Shakespeare Company, and then I was desperate for the role of Crêpe Suzette in Absolute Beginners, and I was only 16 and went after that role. My God, I think I definitely manifested an awful lot. I was very good at it when I was young.
I love that. Did you see it? You're like, that's my role. I'm going for it.
Basically, we lived in 2 rooms with an outside toilet until I was about 7. And my dad was involved in organised crime in the 60s. So he was in and out of prison a lot. I never, ever went to see him when he was in prison. My mum just wouldn't allow us to go. And I'm glad in a way that she didn't, because it was me growing up and me, acting. My mother, through all this, in her 30s, got diagnosed with terminally ill with cancer, and that was the 70s. So when it was a death sentence in those days.
It's a stigma as well. It's difficult.
Exactly. And she absolutely fought that illness. I mean, she died when I was 22. And by the age of 11, I'd been to say goodbye to her probably about a dozen times. When we get the call, she's not going to make it through the night. We'd all get down to the hospital, and then she pulled through. She just did her worry was for my brother and I, what would happen to us. She just had so much. I've never seen somebody just with such belief. And I was diagnosed with PTSD about 2 years ago, and I always sort of put any mental health issues. I sort of put it down to relationships. I'm a hopeless romantic, and I believe in love. I'm very, very happy on my own. I'm a very happy single woman. But I think that my whole outlook on life was that if I worked, I would be able to get money to pay for my mum to get better.
That is beautiful. I completely relate to that in so many different ways.
And that was something that was stuck with me. So I worked, and then I bought a council house, and then I started to do very, very well. And at that point, she was just with me all the time. And I had my first child. She died when James was 1, which was a tragedy. But I'd had her all those years, which was very unusual in those days, particularly. So I had this very poor upbringing, but then I was getting picked up in a chauffeur-driven Bentley with a guy in a chauffeur's uniform with a hat and gloves, and to drive out to Pinewood Studios to be fitted by Ralph Lauren himself for costumes for The Great Gatsby, because that was my first job. I played Mia Farrow's daughter. So I'd go from this very, very humble home, which I loved. There's nothing wrong with that. I love, I love where I came from, and I'm proud of that. I just wanted my mum's health, and it was a fruitless crusade, but it was one that kept me going for a long, long time. And I'm lucky that I had some people, their loved ones, walk out the door and they say goodbye, and then they never see each other again. Something happens. At least if there is a bright side to something like this, I had the opportunity to tell her how much I loved her and how we were incredibly codependent on each other. But bringing us back to mental health, and so I always attributed any pain that I was carrying around the sort of the failure of the dissolution of my relationships, my marriages to both my boys' fathers. I know I've been married 4 times, but I was with my son's fathers for long periods of time. So I attributed pain or whatever around the failure. And actually, it was pointed out to me that, I started when I was about 5 or 6. I used to say to my mum, I'm having a bad thought. And she was so, like, an Irish woman, very strong and absolutely stunning. I mean, I looked like my dad. My mum, she was just breathtaking. I would say I'm having a bad thought, and she would look at me and just say, just no such thing as bad thought. Just brush it off. Didn't indulge me in any way. I mean, and now obviously there's so much help and stuff, but back in those days, you just get up and dust yourself down and
crack on.
So having that diagnosis actually really helped me, because it was so misdirected, my reason for sort of struggling around certain things. And I thought, why am I being at all morose about something that actually happened when I was very, very young? I mean, this was Jack Nicholson said a great thing, that a child loses their innocence the minute that they get the concept they're not immortal. So once you're aware of of your mortality, you're robbed of your childhood.
There's no safety.
Exactly. And so that was taken away from me. She died when I was 22, so I spent all those years preparing for her to die.
It's so painful, but I completely understand who you are now, because work is love.
Yes.
And approval.
Yeah.
And safety.
Yeah.
And romantic love. I'm like you. I had a daddy I had a very traumatic, rough upbringing. Yeah. Rough, privileged, but very traumatic and emotionally abusive.
Yes.
And so you chase this idea of love.
Yes.
That never is quite real. And because we're quite creative, we have little fairy tales in our heads, probably.
Exactly. Yeah. No, daydreaming
you daydreaming and you project, and then you are a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
And my good friend said to me, Ateh, there's not enough. I'll say this in a polite way. She goes, there's not enough D in the world to fill the hole that is inside of you.
I married all my boyfriends.
Is that how you were brought up? I was brought up good. My mum's from Trinidad.
Yeah.
Brought up Catholic. You don't shag around. You marry your boyfriends. Don't you?
I married my boyfriends. But I'm really loving where I am right now. I mean, I've just broken my shoulder a few weeks ago, so that's been. I was preparing for a job, and so sadly I had to pull out the show. But one of those things. But what it's given me actually, and there's the lesson and the blessing. We take things so for granted, and just to jump out of bed in the morning and be able to get in the shower without me having to get into 25 different positions so it doesn't hurt before I get under that heat of the hot shower on my shoulder.
There are no accidents, Patsy.
Yes.
And sometimes maybe the universe gave this to you so you could sit down and think about what you really need to heal. That's what I think sometimes.
I agree with you, Ateh, totally.
Yeah.
We are like, honestly.
Soul sister.
Yeah. Telling you, that is the truth. I have a very strong higher power relationship. I was sitting in it was a therapy group or whatever, and this girl was talking about how her higher power was her mountain bike. And I just thought it was such a beautiful thing because your higher power can be anything. I feel very fortunate because a lot of people struggle around the concept of God and
it makes total sense.
Exactly. So, but I meditate. Do you meditate?
It's been the best thing to have, to go quiet and look inside.
Changes life.
It changes your life.
What happens if you can master quietening your mind, it's really changed my life. Meditation was something that I went to it must have been about 14 years ago now, and I was coming to the end of it in my last marriage. I just thought, I've got to do something. There's a lovely church just in George Street in London.
St. James's?
Yes.
I got married there.
Oh my God, stop. No, my God.
That's so weird. I got married there and I lived up the road. That was my old...
That church, I could, because they do a half an hour mass during the week, so I'm always popping in there. So anyway, I can't believe it. I love that church. So wild.
I got that. Yes, I got.
It was meant to be.
That's my church. So I grew up.
And you got married there.
I got married there.
It's such a beautiful church.
It's you know what? And there's something about Catholicism.
Yes.
There's a lot of things I agree, a lot of things I don't. But having a sense of God or the universe, and I'm sorry, but also Catholic ceremonies are so high camp and fabulous.
Do you know? I'm so with you. I love the pomp and the circumstance of it all.
Frankincense.
Love the frankincense, and I love Christmas time going in and going in always nicking a bit of straw from the the nativity
outside.
And just and it's a form of meditation when I'm in there when the priest is saying the gospel or whatever. My mind can drift, but it's in a meditative way that I think is a beautiful thing. I always feel better when I come out, and I love lighting candles. If I have a resentment or something, I always light that person a candle.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Just get rid of that energy, and it's incredible how it pours, back on you. And when I'm sitting here with a broken shoulder, so my karma's obviously not great.
No, honestly, I gave myself type 2 diabetes.
Oh my God.
And it was the worst. I call it a gift and a blessing.
Yeah.
Because I think like you, Patsy, I'm a grafter and I would have just gone until I hit a wall.
Yeah.
And so I think that was God or the universe saying, you've got to heal, bitch.
Yeah, you have to.
You've got to heal.
You have to, yeah.
And I moved to the countryside.
Yeah.
I changed my life. It was the beginning of the end of my marriage. Yeah. And it was actually, it's a gift and a curse. It was a blessing and a curse because it made me have to change my life.
Yeah, and that's the scariest thing. I mean, I'm eons older than you, but I, for the first time, I'd always, growing up in the business, and I'd always had people do my accounts and things like that. It just the way that it flowed was I basically just had to turn up and do the job, and everything else was happened around me. The business isn't like that anymore. I love acting, and I feel blessed every time I get a job. But I think that I've had to learn to do things for myself, and that is what, especially with breaking the shoulder, it's made me really take control And I have two sons who I was so codependent on them to the point that it wasn't fair on them, and they would. I mean, I could sense that. I mean, they're 24 and 33. I mean, I had a child at that age. It's like, and so I felt like I think for a few years I put way too much pressure on them, and my mum, she let me spread my wings and go. And this is a woman who's like on the brink of death.
Fearless.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to learn. I've had to learn to let go, and it's very hard because of my babies.
I know.
And I don't know if this is a topic that any woman can relate to, but I have very interesting relationships with like apartment where I live. They have a concierge there, and maybe the odd Uber driver, because I live on my own. I can't get my dress zipped up or what. So I'm constantly going, like leaving to go out, and I have to go into the concierge office and can you zip me up, please? And
It's funny, isn't it?
look at their faces. And then the same thing, I could be coming home from nothing wild or crazy. I've just been at dinner and I've come home and I had to go to the cab driver. Or
Do you find a kind stranger to unzip your Patsy?
I have to, because I can't get out otherwise. I mean, it's like that game Twister. I put one hand here to try and get this over my head here. Anyway.
It's hilarious. That's
Yes.
hashtag single life, babe.
Hashtag single life.
So, Patsy, I want to ask you,
Yeah.
if you were to give yourself a report card for your first act, what would it say?
You don't have to marry all your boyfriends.
I love that.
Yeah.
You don't have to marry your boyfriend.
No.
That would be would be the review. Don't marry it. You don't have to marry
them. Yeah.
You can have a little love affair and twirl away.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lesson I am learning now in my 40s.
See?
You don't have to.
You're so young as well.
I'm 47.
Oh, shush.
I am 47. I married my first boyfriend. We broke up at 45. I'm dating. I'm in the streets now, Patsy.
Oh, yeah. Are you out
For
there?
the first time. Yeah.
Are you
on
doing
everything, babe. Like Raya, Hinge, Bumble,
I mean, I think
Tinder
it's...
for 20 minutes. It was frightening.
What did I do? One Tinder date, and it wasn't
They're
for
wild.
me. I'm just happy on my own, to be honest with you.
Are you happy being? Yeah.
I've got my cat.
Got a cat.
It's such a cliche, but
You just
single middle-aged cat woman.
I got a cat too as well.
You do?
So she's a year old. She's called Opal Caramel Jewel.
Oh my
She's
God,
a
that sounds like a Prince song.
She's Opal Caramel Jewel. She's a lady, and she's changed my life. But it is that thing of learning to be by yourself, which is very difficult.
It's really hard.
And especially you've been acting. You've been like being an actress. It's a very structured life.
Yes.
Like you're saying, you're actually taken care of. You get into a car. You get on
Yeah.
set. There's
Yeah.
always something going on, and
Yeah.
just to be by yourself, is that quite difficult?
Well, I think because I had to do it on location at the age of 16. I don't know if the it's changed now. It probably should, because I think 16 is very young. I wasn't required to have a chaperone anymore when I
At
was
16?
At 16.
My
So I would have to find a way to survive. And so basically, I'd be in LA, or I remember I was doing one of the first jobs that I did where I had sort of fend for myself. I was lucky because it was an all English cast and everyone kind of bonded. So that was lucky. But I've been on some jobs and literally, Friday would come, everyone would drive off, and I'd be. It's when I was doing Lethal Weapon 2, and that's the only film I've ever worked on that finishes at 3 on a Friday and they start at 11 on Monday. And so I had all that time to fill, and you can't walk about in.
How old were you?
I was 20.
You were a baby.
I was a baby, and I couldn't hire
in LA.
In LA,
by yourself.
Yeah, I had to get used to going into a restaurant, and so I would book myself into a really nice restaurant and take a book or my lines for the next day, and I'd just go and get a table for one and I have no problem eating by myself, going to the movies on my own. I had to learn to do it. So I'm a bit of a hermit, to be honest with you.
I'm so shocked that you were in LA by yourself. Can I just say,
Yeah.
I'm a super fan of that movie.
Oh.
When you were in that film, not that I knew you, I was like, I'm so proud of you. I was like, Patsy Kensit's in a big Hollywood film.
You're so lovely.
And I had cousin pride, as if you were my cousin, and that you'd made it. And I just
to be your cousin.
I just felt so proud. And the thought of you eating alone in LA just breaks my heart.
Yeah, I know. And I couldn't hire a car yet.
Because you're 21 as well. You can't even get a drink.
I know. So basically, I remember the first weekend, Mel said to me, so what did you get up to the weekend? I said, well, I walked down to Sunset Plaza, because I was staying at the Mondrian they put me in. I walked down Sunset Plaza, and he said, but why are you not driving? I said, because I can't hire a car yet. And he said, show me your passport, bring your passport in tomorrow. And I think they must have thought I was older than they said, no, I might not have got the part because I was so young. Anyway, within 24 hours, Warner Brothers had arranged a hire car for me, and I was up and away. So I have to say, they treated me so well. I mean, with such respect. And Mel was very protective. But it was a lot of male energy.
Esther Lauder is no stranger to the concerns of midlife and has supported women through the changes that our second act brings for nearly 80 years. As many women of my age know, your sleep patterns can dramatically be impacted by changes in your hormone levels, making a good night's sleep a thing of the past. Hello is partnering with Esther Lauder's Advanced Night Repair Regime for the Night Shift, a campaign designed to help you achieve a better night's sleep through simple rituals and expert advice. A cult beauty buy, and one of my favourites, the serum has been a fixture on beauty editors' must-have lists for decades. And now, the Advanced Night Repair collection is a targeted set of products addressing specific skin concerns, including line reduction, skin smoothing, firmness, evening skin tone, and strength, hydration, and radiance. Esther Lauder's Advanced Night Repair collection, which helps repair the look of sleep-deprived skin, is a miracle bottled. You were dealing with your mum's death. It's like not that one.
Yeah.
Do you think that could be part of it?
I think that I never give myself enough credit for how strong I am. Yeah. And people that work with me tell me all the time, you are incredibly strong. I have a very big heart, and it's got me in trouble, I would say, over the years, because I do tend to have this ability to erase experiences or perhaps not taken the lesson.
You're in your second act. What does the term second act mean to you?
I don't know. I always used to say my scary age was sort of 50, 56. That was my scary age. I thought last year I was a year older than I am. So it wasn't until my kids said to me, Mum, no, you're actually not 58 next year. You're 56 right now. You're 50. So I get to do it all over again.
You get an extra. You got a bonus year.
I get a bonus year. It's Brucey bonus. So we'll,
I love the fact your children.
It reminded me. Yeah.
You reminded me.
Yeah.
What was the moment that you knew you were in your second act?
Knowing you're in your second act is, it's your 40s. And I think what begins to happen is that you start to care less about what people think of you. And that was something that I paid way too much attention to.
Do you have the disease to please? Do you care what people thought of you? And
see, we are cosmic twins.
We are. I'm feeling it, Patsy Kensit.
Yeah.
The disease to please.
I'll say yes, and then the date's approaching. I'm thinking, why did I agree to do that? And so I'm really mindful now about just thinking it through and how is that going to, because I don't believe, I'm 57, I think.
And a half.
Yeah, exactly. And 3/4.
3/4.
I think this is a great time in my life, and I'm looking forward to being 60 and getting free medicine on the NHS.
Get your bus pass.
Yeah, get my butt. Listen, on my 40th birthday, my best birthday present I got was an Oyster card from my son. That's 20 years ago.
I love that.
He got me an Oyster card.
That's so cute.
I know, it is so cute.
Were you brought up to be financially literate? Because I was not, and it's something I need to
No, I wasn't. I just used to, like I said, stick my head in the sand and not.
I'm with you. I'm only
Yeah.
now at 47 having to wake up
Yeah.
and try and get a spreadsheet out. I fight it every day.
Oh my God.
And
the
all my
word
friends are
makes me-
saying,
Yeah.
you need to get it together and stop putting your head in the sand financially.
Yeah. You have. Yeah.
It's scary though. Are you? Yeah.
I mean, I've had some terrible sleepless nights and everything, but what I've learned and the amount that I was spending on things, and when you really go through stuff, but so all I can say from my stance on it all is I'm really fortunate. I've already shot a couple of movies this year. I'd love to go back on EastEnders. That to me was dream job, and I was in a relationship at the time, and it wasn't something that it wasn't really a job that I was encouraged to take, and I'd wanted to be on that show for the last 40 years. I mean,
Let's do a shout out right now, EastEnders.
I mean,
Call Patsy Kensit. You'd
do-
be legendary.
well,
You'd be
I
epic.
went in for I did 9 episodes for them, and it went really well, and everything. But unfortunately, I put life stuff first, and I knew I'd regret it. I just think you've got to try and send to yourself. Go onto YouTube, and you can just type in mindful meditation for anxiety about 5-minute or 10-minute, and you get like a plethora of choices, and you just do that for 10 minutes, and it completely and utterly like just calms you down. And I believe in breath work. I think that's, again, we forget to breathe. Also, I just think you get back what you put out. So I think if you do things and to people, and I've made terrible mistakes in my life, but everyone has been a lesson. And I think with me failing in this business, it's taught me so much, and it's taught me that I've got a rough road ahead of me still. I'm so much better than I've been in a very, very long time. So,
well, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm in a similar situation post-divorce, post being that girl who was taught not to look after finances and just putting your head in the sand. You know what, Patsy Kensit, you and I, #OnlyFans, babe. Let's get our toes out.
I think I mentioned that in front of all my sons, and he went absolutely like I think
Would you be horrified? If
my God!
You know what? I am. You know what?
Yeah.
There is something inside of me. My friend told me the other day, get your toes out, Ateh. Get your toes out. I'm a bit shy, but if you do it, Patsy, I'll do it. But like, it's not
never gonna happen.
Do a spreadsheet. We'll do spreadsheets and just take control of your. Not necessary to get toes out. Just do a spreadsheet. Do meditation.
Yeah. Spreadsheet, meditation.
Be a grown up.
Keep it clean, kids.
Keep it clean.
Yeah, clean kids.
Talking about keeping it clean and kids. Tell me about motherhood. How has that changed you, being a mum?
Well, I mean, it's just broken my heart because they grow up and they leave.
Did you love being a mummy? In that, a mummy in that little baby stage? Because it did my head in, I'm not going to lie.
No, I didn't enjoy it enough because I was so scared that I was going to break the baby. My sons are incredible. My eldest son is pathological about his privacy. I mean, he's absolutely, because I think he's sort of grown up. I always kept them out. I never used to take them to like kids' premieres. The movie would be coming out the following Friday, and I used to have to intercept the mail because if they saw the new SpongeBob film was out and they'd want to go, and I didn't want to take them because you were opening the doors for them to be photographed wherever. So anyway, they're hilarious. I mean, I look back now and I just wish I had this. It wasn't an excuse. It was a genuine necessity. I'd rush to work. When I was doing Emmerdale, I would literally commute some days driving. I mean, the ITV pulled me in at one point and said, "Listen, this is dangerous what you're doing," because my eldest had just turned 13. He'd been at the same school since reception. I couldn't have pulled him out and put him in a school up north at 13.
13 is they've got friends at 13. You can't do that.
No, you can't. I always had the excuse, I've got to get home to the kids. I've got to get back to the kids. And which I genuinely did. I wanted to try. Please God, if I get to the station, I can get that train, or I don't have that excuse anymore. But I need to get back to the kids. Lennon was there. He's a musician, so he's got this band, and he's doing sort of musical stuff with other people. Anyway, I went to one of his shows, and there was nothing to run home to.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't want to cry.
Shall I tell you a story?
Yeah.
I live next to Soho. Live very near to Soho Farmhouse.
Oh yeah.
I'm a committee member, and
Yes.
I was there. I can't remember. It was probably a couple of years ago, and I saw your son Lennon with his siblings.
Oh yeah.
All messing around, laughing, and I was like, that boy's well loved.
Oh,
He's been raised well, that boy.
Oh,
and
thank
he had
you.
he was such a happy.
He's always got.
And
a
I
smile
thought
on
that
his
boy's
face.
been well loved, and I thought he was a credit to you on the streets, Patsy Kensit. And I thought, so you're a warm, yummy, lovely mummy, and you love your boys.
And you love your girls.
Yeah.
They're everything.
Yeah, it's
So-
beautiful.
Yeah,
So talk to me. Okay, so we have been mummies, working mummies.
yeah.
It's not difficult. It's very well. I tell you, I'm 10 years younger than you. You
Yeah.
were always the cool girl, looking up to you. Like
Yeah.
I remember the cover of you in bed, Cool Britannia.
Yeah.
Like
Of
for a whole
course.
generation, you were the cool girl. Okay, we all wished we could be.
Oh, right.
But you also were mama too at the time.
Yeah.
What was it like being the cool girl, rock star wife, but also doing sports kits? Like, what was that like? Were you doing name tags while you were like back of the band with Oasis? I want to know what the reality is. 'Cause
The reality, obviously, I took James everywhere with me, and then it got to a point where I couldn't keep dragging him out of school. Then obviously I had Lennon. It was just really normal.
So it was fun and glamorous and cool, but also you were mummy.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to get up and I had to go to work, and I was turning up and shooting and delivering. You can't be out. Just listen. I had a few late nights in the 90s. Don't get me wrong.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a really good time. But I was a mother, and I worked, and
You were professional.
yeah, I'm very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Oh, good. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. How has your approach to relationships changed from your first act to your second? So you were saying you're hopeful, you're hopelessly romantic. I completely. Are you still that person, or are your eyes open, or?
And my eyes are open.
Yeah.
I can see red flags now, and
You get tired of the nonsense, don't you?
I just think that what will be,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can just keep it a day at a time, even a breath at a time. Sometimes in life you have to go with, but just try not to think about what's going to happen next week. I'm a terrible worrier, but it's easy to give advice, but a lot of us are in the same boat. It's a very tough time right now.
Talk to me about friends. My friends
Yeah.
since post-divorce have been so important.
Yeah.
And I thank them. One of my best friends, I got divorced. She said, you need two things, Ateh.
Yeah.
You need a vibrator
Oh, yeah.
and a coffee machine to save money.
Oh, yeah.
I call it coffee and kicks.
Come here.
She was correct. She's like, now that you've got to watch your money, don't be going to Pret a Manger, spending your money. So
Yes.
I've got a coffee machine, and I can't tell you, this is like the biggest joke. I can tell who my really good friends are because I have a bag of vibrators.
Yeah.
From my closest girlfriend.
And they're all brought
I
to
can
you.
tell what level of friend you are by if you've given me a vibrator.
Well,
Have you got vibrator friends, Patsy Kensit?
I've got to say, I have to. Just recently, one of my oldest friends, I wasn't in possession of one at that time.
Did she give you one?
Well, no. So we were having like just this little bit of brunch in Holland Park, and she went, "Oh, there's a shop near here that they sell designer, adult toys." But she took me to. It was so glamorous in there, and sort of very French and boudoir.
Talking about vibrator friends, Liv
Yeah.
Hurley,
Yeah.
I'm imagining is a good friend of yours,
Yeah.
and she's godmother to Lennon.
Yeah.
We recently celebrated her 60th
Yes.
birthday. What was that like? And is she a good friend? She's a proper friend.
We're proper friends. We met 36 years ago on a very, very bad movie that we shot in Malta for 15 weeks. And it was all German crew, apart from her and I. And with anyone else, I don't think I could have got through the 15 weeks in Malta, but her and I just like fell in love instantly. And her 6th year, she got a beautiful place in the country. She was doing just family, and then she was doing a dinner at the weekend, which I couldn't have gone to anyway. But she said, "Will you just can you come to the family one, because I know," which is so sweet. So I'm close with her sister as well. The whole family kind of adopted me a little bit.
I love that. I've met her several times actually.
She's amazing.
Through her beautiful work she does for breast cancer and Estee Lauder, and I just thought she looks like a good egg.
She's a girl's girl.
She's a girl's girl,
and she is funny and just beautiful, and it's just so wonderful to behold. And so I went and stayed for a few days, and in fact we were messaging at like 5:30 this morning. We're both really early risers, about when I'm going to go back and stay a bit longer.
What are you doing differently now in your second act compared to your first? Sounds like quite a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Just taking care of myself, trying not to let my boys, they feel like they need to worry. A sort of sink could be like bursting, or the washing machine's flooding or whatever, and they'll call me, and in the past I'd have been, hysterical, but all the eccentricities that
I'm neurospicy. That would throw me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So that they don't dread calling me, because like, oh God, every time we phone there's a drama, or there's this. So that's and that's gone very well actually. It was a good plan.
So what is the best thing about being single?
The best thing about being single is I get to watch Sex and the City on loop. And I also am loving And Just Like That.
Yes.
I've got into it. I think it's great.
It's beautiful to see the stories of midlife women.
Isn't it?
I never grew up watching anything like that.
No. I mean, it's just fab.
I like the fashion as well.
I love the fashion. I like, the homes and the... it's just... Yes, being able to watch that.
Yeah.
Used to be the Kardashians, but I've fallen out of love with them now.
I was the Kardashians, yeah.
Yeah, I loved them in the beginning. I remember saying to my girlfriends, "You've got to watch this show, this family. They're, and the mother's like fantastic, and then it all started changing, and with when Kanye sort of came in, and the whole, and then my friends started watching it, and they all became obsessed, and I've
You've tag teamed out.
Well, like they really care. I mean, obviously Kim's going to be on the phone crying to me later on tonight because of this. I mean, it's be hard for her to take the news. Yeah.
But I love reality TV.
Oh, me too.
I watch it all, Real Housewives.
Yeah,
everything.
love it all. It's
no compromising.
It's so Moorish. It's like Chinese food, It's just like you have the most delicious filling Chinese food, and then like 10 minutes later, I just want more. You want more.
Another spring roll.
Yeah, another spring roll. When you just don't want to stop.
Yeah, you don't have to watch any sports you don't want to unless it's in.
I like football because I've had to like it because of the kids. So watching games.
Yeah,
is fine.
It's fine. Talk to me about your sons, James and Lennon. They're obviously the loves of your life, which is so beautiful. Yeah. They've both chosen very different careers. Yeah. Sounds like my girls. One is very private. She's like, you don't have photo consent, take it down. No. And the other one is literally going to be an actress. And
okay,
I'll be telling her to call Auntie Patsy for a night.
She can do.
What advice do you give Lennon about life in the spotlight?
I just say to him, always be polite. There's always someone else that's going to come and be charming. So make sure. And he's got a really, really, actually really good reputation. I mean, people have said to me, I didn't know what to expect. I worked with him, and he's so professional, and we shot a campaign together actually about a year and a half ago, and we were doing the shoot, and it was just like best day at work for me, going to work with my son, and he was like quite remote and everything. I was going, what's the matter with you? Why aren't you? He went, Mum, I'm working. Yeah. It's like...
Did you want to cry? You're like, that's my big boy at work.
I was just like, oh, God, get over yourself. But no, I was pleased. He takes it very, very seriously.
I like that. Polite, work ethic, graft.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's it. Exactly.
Yeah. I can smell it. He's a good boy.
Yes.
Talk to me about what it's like to have an empty nest, because so many of our listeners are, you know what, when you pour all that love and that energy and then suddenly they're gone, how has that been for you, and any advice? Now, if you're listening, there are no words. Patsy looks like she's about to cry.
It's broken my heart. It's I will cry. It's broken my heart.
It's so, you know what?
Yeah.
I just, it's their decision, but give you some grandbabies. I think that will fix that. Will fill that.
I would love it. I'd love it.
Would you like to be a grandma?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Yeah.
I think you're built for grandma energy.
Oh yes.
I can't wait to be a grandma.
Me neither.
Yeah, I think
how much fun.
It'd be so much. It's all the best bits.
It's all the best bits. Exactly.
So if you could give some advice to the listeners and to your younger self.
Yes.
From your first act, Patsy's second act, going back to Patsy's first act, what would you say to her?
Keep learning. I don't think it's good to procrastinate, but I do think that my mum always called it the 24-hour rule, and it was that regardless if something happens, regardless how heinous it is, hurtful, rude, destructive, don't do anything for 24 hours. Just sleep just 24 hours, and then if you wake up the next day or haven't slept, then okay, look at it then, but do not knee-jerk. And it was the best bit of advice I could get, because in so many situations I think, oh thank God
I'm a bit of a hothead. I'm going to take that on board
from
your mum.
handle,
Are you a hothead? Well, no,
I can be, but I think I've sort of softened up, over the years.
That's very good advice from your mummy. I'm going to take that on board.
Okay.
It's time for your second act, where we read emails and voice notes sent in by you, my wonderful listeners. This one is from Kiara. Hi, Ateh. I'm 42, and last year I divorced my husband of 17 years. After such a long partnership, I was devastated. But now that the dust has settled, I feel more alone than ever. How can I embrace my single status? Patsy, what do you think?
I mean, you genuinely only really need one good friend. If does she have family members or
Not sure, but she's feeling lonely. She's feeling bereft. It's when you've spent your whole life with someone and then you're by yourself. It's sad.
It's sad. It's
but
difficult. I just think you only need a couple of good friends, and just that. When I lost everything, I didn't want to get out of bed for weeks, but I had to force myself, because if I hadn't, then it was that was going nowhere. And also, what does that show my sons? What kind of example am I setting?
You've just got to lean on your friends.
Yeah, lean on your friends.
Keep going.
Day at a time as well.
Day at a time. Do breath work.
Go on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll be all right,
You'll
Kiara.
be all right.
It's going to be all right. It gets better. It gets better. Patsy Kensit, you've been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on Second Act and sharing so much. This episode was brought to you by Estée Lauder's Advanced Night Repair. Wind down with a free Beauty Sleep Glow facial at your nearest Estée Lauder counter. Book online or in-store now. Thanks so much for listening. If you've got a dilemma or question you need answering, then please email at secondactpod@hellomagazine.com. Don't forget to rate us if you enjoyed the show, and you can find all the best second act wisdom from our experts via the Hello Magazine website. And I'll see you next week.